The Sports Scouting Report with Lee King. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee King.
Hi everyone, Lee King with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. I'm here at the Julio Brothers Italian Restaurant. We've got a great guest today, Dorsett Buckels, the head football coach from Hammond High School. Dorsett played at LSU. Hammond High School was a star all-state linebacker there. Started at LSU as a linebacker at LSU. For Nick Saban, we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about Tangelo Parrish, all the great players that have come out of there, that area, and some of his teammates. It was a great time in the early 2000s, late 90s. And he's at Hammond High School. Has had a lot of great players, too, that we'll also talk about. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back, Lee King with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. We're at the Julio Brothers Italian Restaurant on Perkins Road. They have brunch on Sunday from 10:30 to 2 during the week. Right by Acadian, not far from LSU on Perkins. Great homemade pastas, pizzas, chicken parmesan, garlic bread we have for the coaches this morning. Much more. Everything here is really great. Salads are all romaine and really tasty. Come to Julio Brothers. Our guest today is Dorsett Buckels from Hammond High School. Appreciate you coming, Coach.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Talk about all the famous, I'm going to try to do my best, but DBU is Hammond High School to me in Tangelo Parrish. Now, Amy's going to say something about it, and maybe Kentwood. But Donald Dykes, both his son and senior, were great DBs at Hammond High. Fred Booker played at LSU with Dorsett here, and Fred Booker played for the Saints for a year. Robert Alford, who just finished with the Falcons, played a long time, was a great DB at Hammond. John Williams was a great DB, him and his dad at Hammond. Larry Chester, a big O-lineman, played in the NFL over 10 years from Hammond. Donald Dykes, we talk about junior, senior. Reshaw Johnson was a Katrina guy from St. Aug that played at Hammond, 6'4", 310, played in the NFL. Was an offensive lineman. Brad Davis, who played with Burt Jones, running back, was on the 1970 state championship team at Hammond High School. Brad Davis. Warren Bankston played from 69 to 78 in the NFL with 3 NFL teams. Marvin Jones, not an NFL guy, but a great linebacker, in the early 2000s. And recently, a DB with the last name of Johnson, so Tulane from Coach Buckels. That's a heck of a list, Coach.
That's a heck of a list. You may be right. DBU.
DBU.
I know Amy and Ken was going to have something to say, but, actually my brother, Carlton Buckels, he was coaching up under Coach Common Moore, who I have on my staff right now.
He coached Brock and Booker and all those guys.
Oh, yeah, he coached all those guys.
Nice.
He did. So, I'm just trying to bring that back. Back then, he had 4 D1 players, D1 DBs.
All at one time.
All at one time. So, and we have potential to do that. We have 2 right now.
Yeah.
So, we were striving to be great like that,
Coach Buckels, I didn't get a chance to do this, and I were able to retape some of the show, but the mascots, the tornado.
Tornadoes.
I didn't mention that earlier. I'm glad we got that in. The tornado. The colors are purple and white.
That's it. Purple, white.
There we go.
That's it.
Got his cap going on. H for Hammond High.
Oh, yeah.
The school was founded in 1866. I didn't know that until today. The school's been around a long time.
It has been. And we won a championship in 1970. And we're just trying to bring it back to those days.
The year I was born.
Oh, yeah. So that was a while ago, you know. But like I say, like all those names are great names that you mentioned. You see that we have the potential there, all the talent there, you know. So like I said, we're just trying to bring it back to the great days, and I know we will because the future's bright.
A lot of great coaches over the years. Coleman Moore, who's now back with Dorsett as an assistant quarterback coach. Coleman's a young 77. Coleman, hope you're watching the show. I'll send it to you. A lot of great coaches. Over the years, James Gilliard went to LSU, coached a little bit in the 2000s, and we had a coach, I'm trying to still remember his name, O-line coach, who was in Utah, played in Utah, went to Hammond, was a coach 2 or 3 years at Hammond High School. But it's a great place for you, Coach. 5 and 6, third year playoffs. That was a great. From where you came from, 2 weeks before the season when you got hired your first year.
2 weeks before the season. 2 weeks before the season started. So, you know, I didn't want to change much. And that was the whole thing. Going into it with 2 weeks before the season started, before the January. So, you know, just let the kids go out there and play, have fun, try to tweak a little things, a few things. But like I said, we didn't want to change much. But I wanted to continue. I wanted to start right then to change the mindset, change the culture of the program. And I think we're doing a great job at that.
Dorsett, I want to ask you about A-Meet. When you played at A-Meet, when your brother Carlton and Al had Michael Carl, those guys were different times. Jonathan Foster, the current coach at Kentwood, and A-Meet All-State player. Is there one team you think might be the greatest A-Meet team ever? Or is that hard to answer?
It's kind of hard to answer. I mean, we always get into a debate about it, but I mean, we always have some great teams. So I can't say it was this year because I mean, it's different eras. So, you know, I mean, it's kind of hard to say.
Before we take a break, how much does Coach Donald Curry mean to you, the coach from A-Meet?
Coach Career means...
Career is the brothers. Kentwood is brother coach at Kentwood.
So he means everything. I mean, he's the one who, he kind of started the spread before it actually started, you know what I mean? So he was kind of ahead of the game, you know, so very, very talented, like a great coach, great man, you know, so I mean, I respect him to the fullest.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about LSU, a lot of LSU stuff, and then in the last segment, we're going to have highlights of his players and also talk about the team. We'll see you.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, the host of Sports Scouting Report podcast video. Our show here at the Julio Brothers Italian Restaurant on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. We've got Coach Dorsett Buckels, the head coach at Hammond High School, played at A-Meet High School, and LSU Tigers, who was a linebacker for LSU. And I wanted to tell everybody, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and also the bell to get notices of shows every week. If you're a listener and you didn't subscribe, please do that. It's free. Or go wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Twitter. We're now on Instagram. And also our website, lafootballmagazine.com. You can get our show several ways. Facebook also, so many ways to get it. I want to go back to Coach Buckels. We're going to talk about his brother, Carlton, who's currently an assistant coach with TCU, the Horned Frogs. Before we do that, I want to mention the last football state championship at Hammond was 1970.
1970.
But they got a championship.
They got a championship, so we definitely trying to bring them back to those days.
Brad Davis was on it with LSU.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I see it. These young guys. I mean, the future definitely is bright. You know, I mean, we got goals. We have small goals right now. You know, but going to lead to big goals. So you know, I'm definitely confident about that, and hopefully one day we'll be there as well.
What's great, the coaching tree in your family, your mom and dad have to be proud.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your brother's with TCU. You played at LSU. Your brother played at LSU. Carlton's done a great job. He's had some small jobs to get to where he's at. He had the Tulsa job, North Texas job,
Started at Southeastern.
Southeastern, and now he's made it to the big on top of the mountain with TCU.
That's it.
How proud are you of your brother, Carlton?
Carlton, man, he does so much for the family. Just, you know, his presence, just, you know, motivation and everything that he does, man. A man of God. I mean, he's just that father figure that everybody wants and that everybody needs. You know, I mean, a guy that does the right thing, the right ways. You know, I mean, when we speak of character, guy. I mean, you can say so much about my brother. I mean, I can say so much about my brother. I mean, I thank God for him and, you know, the rest of my brothers as well.
I'll tell you what, the DBs look good for them all year.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And their best DBs from Alexandria High School.
That's it. You're right
So
about that.
I can tell your brother's part of that. He's got his hands on that development.
And he's a part of that, man. He's always been a great coach. You know, I speak on the what type of person he is, but he is also a hell of a brother, coach, and, you know, father figure, everything else. You know.
Do you want to coach college ball one day?
No, I actually turned down Southeastern job 1 year. You know, I was thinking about it. I was definitely thinking about it, but, you know, I mean, I was just like, hey, if God leads me there, you know, that's where I'll be. And, you know, I'm a man of faith as well. So, I mean, I love high school ball. That's where my heart is. So, you know, can't complain about the high school. You know, it's not making the money that the college profession makes, but hey, I mean, I love it to death. I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world.
It all grows into something special if you stick to it long enough.
That's it.
And I've always seen that. You look at JT Curtis when he took over; they didn't win a game. When he took over. When Evangel started, they didn't win a game for a couple of years. Western Road, Don Showles, he didn't win a game for a couple of years. So I mean, everything starts at the bottom. You're already there in the middle.
That's it. In the middle.
Dorsett, talk about your LSU days. That was an interesting era of LSU football.
It was.
Some people call it the dark ages.
Oh, yeah.
Because y'all weren't on TV as much.
Right.
You had a couple of changes with coaches.
That's it.
Talk about your position, coach at LSU. Who recruited you, and why was it LSU back then?
Well, actually, I was going to go to Mississippi State.
Okay.
You know, but when Nick Saban came, I was his first signee.
That's right.
So, you know, I mean, he called. My brother was actually a GA there as well. You know, and, you know, my brother called me on the phone and said, hey, if Coach Saban offered you, would you take it? Yeah, most definitely. So I was excited about that. Him and Derek Dooley came to the house. You know, I was super excited on what they had to offer, and, you know, who wouldn't want to play for Nick Saban?
Right.
You know, so
You're in the same class with Joseph and Don.
that's it.
Isn't that crazy? and Booker too, right? Fred Booker?
No,
Was
Fred
that a
Booker.
different class? It was
Different
next,
class,
next class. But that was a unique class because Nick had taken over and there was already about 15 commitments.
That's it.
And you were one of those guys.
Yeah,
It was just about keeping you
It was
committed.
just about keeping me committed. That's it. You know, and like I say, who wouldn't want to play for Coach Saban? I mean, he's done some great things back then, and also he's still doing some great things. So, you know, you can't say nothing bad about Nick Saban as far as coaching. You know, he's a great coach.
That was a great era of you coming out, you and Carlton from Tangible Parish. Demetrius Hookfin and Kentwood.
Oh, yeah.
You look at Amy and all the great players out ahead and all the great players, you, your brother, talk about Michael Carr and so, you know, Jonathan Foster. But then you look at Ponchatoula, Ronald McClendon with the Tulane and Ole Miss. Hammond had Marvin Jones and a couple of greats. Carmen was over there, now he's back with you, coach. But that was a unique time, the early 2000s. What was it about that? I mean, some of the Donald Dykes and Fred Booker.
Hey, things that you remember is when you go home to watch Sportsline and you look at everyone else, and then on Sportsline they say, okay, now that we got everything else out of the way, let's go down I-55.
Right.
So, you know, there were some players there, you know, and like even now, you know, there's always some players. So You know, like I say, tangible players really breed players. You know.
Another former teammate of yours, further down, Buckels, Ken Allen.
Oh yeah, King Allen.
Same era.
Same era.
6'3". I remember when he played running back at Buckels.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
And he was in the playoffs. I think it was against Strumba. And they lined him up in a one-back set at 6'6", 300 pounds, running a 4.7. Ain't crazy?
And it's crazy.
Well, he's a man-child at LSU.
And he was. He was. I mean, he's a big, strong, physical guy. You know that. He really played his tail off.
So the next segment, when we come back, me and Coach Buckels are going to talk about his team. We've got highlights of some of his top players. And we're going to talk about what he thinks about 2023 going into the summer for Hammond High School. We'll be right back.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. Lee King, host of the Sports Scout Report podcast. We're at the Julio Brothers, Italian Brothers here on Perkins Road. I'm with Dorsett Buckels, the head football coach from Hammond High School. We're talking about LSU. We're talking about A-Meet. Talking about all the great players that come out of Tangible Parish. We didn't mention everybody. There's a lot of them in the early 2000s, late 90s, from Hammond, A-Meet, Kentwood, Ponchatoula, St. Helena Central was starting to come on with Stanley Doty, D-tackle that played in the NFL with South Carolina. That's a name, throw it out.
Yeah.
Stanley Doty, 6'3", 320. I want to go ahead and go into some film. I know Jay's going to bring some film in, but one of your first guys who started out at Oranger, running back, great player, Eli Johnson. What do you think of Eli? Here's some highlights of Eli.
Eli Johnson, he's a great player. Someone with a 4.0. So not only a player, he's a great student athlete as well. You know, so I mean, you can't ask for enough out of the player. You know, he's going to come there and make sure that he works hard in and on and off the field. So, I mean, that's all you can ask for.
5'10", 200-pound plus power, speed,
Physical running back.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for him to be a D1 player as well. You know, he hasn't got that offer yet, but I'm definitely waiting, and you know, he's definitely going to get that.
Old school is coming. It's still early. Kenyatta Fleet. What do you think? We got some highlights from Kenyatta Fleet.
Kenyatta Fleet. Monster.
Great athlete.
I mean, great athlete. I mean, when I tell you this young man right here is a great athlete. 6'2", 180. He'll go over your head at receiver. I mean, he'll come down and hit you while he's at DB. He's someone who you need to look at, and he's got to be highly recruited.
Got the look, can run. Here's a big guy you need in your program. You need a big lineman. Naeem Addison.
Naeem Addison.
Been playing forever at Hammond.
So I call Naeem Addison Mr. Pancake. You know, because he's definitely that guy who's just nasty up in there and plays physical and does what you ask him to do. And he's a leader. You know, he's that senior leader that we need. And I mean, we got to look up to him and look for him to lead that group.
Addison would have fit in to OA meet teams. 6'1", 310.
Right.
A-Meet always had those big, wide body guys.
And we did. And he's definitely that tight man. And like I say, he had that mentality.
That was a highlight on Addison. Big guy, can really run, good feet. Coach, I want to talk about some of the other guys. You got a freshman quarterback. And I know for you to start a freshman, he's got to be good. Taron Jones.
Well, Taron Jones, he's good. Bright future. You know, so I'm looking for him to do some amazing things. Right now, he's still young. You know, he's still a ninth grader, but look out for Taron Jones.
Another running back who you like a lot, Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn, he's been playing for the last 3 years for us. He's another senior. He didn't play in the spring game. He injured his knee, but Chris Dunn is somebody who's explosive. You know, he's going to give you everything that he has, and you know that's all you can ask for.
I've been watching this kid play for you for 3 years, Leon Winsberry, receiver. He can go.
Leon can go. You know,
Senior coming up.
Hey, he's a senior as well. You know, like I told you, Leon is shaky in the bones with me, man. So, you know, I'm excited about Leon and what he's going to do for us well this year as well.
A young, talented tight end to keep an eye on, Roderick Peters.
Roderick Peters is like 6'3". You know, definitely need to keep an eye on him. He's going to be another one that's going to be highly recruited. You know, I definitely feel that way. And he's working his tail off in the classroom and on the field as well. So that's what you can ask for.
Another lineman, sorry, coach, that sat out last year, coming off the men, good Shane Gardner. Shane Gardner, like you said, he's coming off an injury. You know, he started since a freshman. You know, he was there early on, and you know he had to take his little you know, bumps.
his little bumps, and you know, and now he's ready to go. You know, he's physical now, and I mean, I can't say enough about Shane. He's going to be ready to go.
Every program needs a good punter and kicker. Trust me, high school, some of them don't have one. Nick Barty is a good player for you.
Nick Barty is, you know, I mean, we can depend on Nick anytime, you know, to come in and kick for us, and you know, I mean, do a great job. I mean, do what he's told to do and do what we ask him to do. So, I mean, you can't ask for more from Nick.
I won't run through these because we don't have time to go through them all, but Israel Amaker, a big lineman, coming back to coach, a senior. Darius Serbic, D-tackle, got a lot of size, 280. Jaden Johnson, another talented young linebacker. Jermaine Davis, a D1 DB, already offered by Southeastern, coach told me, in Alcorn, Northwestern State. Javion Jones, another talented DB senior. And last guy, old lineman, another trench guy, 300-pounder, Jameer Francis.
Yeah, Jameer Francis. So, actually, Darius Serbic, he has SEMO offer and also Grambling State University. Like I said, he's a 25 guy. We have some talented young men. So look forward to in the future. Near future.
How much does it mean for you to have guys like Carmen Moore back? A young 77.
It's a blessing, you know, to have Coach Carmen Moore. You know, not only is he a coach with us, he's also my friend. You know, I'm glad to call him my friend, and you know, he just brings so much knowledge over there at Hammond High School. You know, so he's been doing it for a while, and I just love him to death.
And I gotta give a shout out to another assistant of yours because I knew he was all state in high school at Amy, Leslie Deemer.
Leslie Deemer.
He's a heck of a DN in high school.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and he played at Northwestern State. Coach Leslie Deemer came from East St. John. You know, where he's doing a tremendous job as a defensive coordinator.
Who's the most famous graduate of Hammond right now?
The most famous?
Basketball. She just won a state national championship.
Oh, Miss Kimmel. That's it.
Hammond High.
That's it. Oh yeah.
Sioux Falls native. How many people have brought that up to you in the last few weeks?
A lot of people.
I mean,
you know,
nobody even
the
did
last
that.
few months. You know, so I mean, they definitely brought it up, and you know, hey, shout out to her, doing a great job. Continue.
She's tough.
She's tough. She's tough.
A female version of Nick Saban.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
If she recruited one of you players, she'd probably get him, right?
She'd probably get him. I'm pretty sure.
I think she can coach the boys basketball team, don't she?
Yeah, right.
And win a
And win
championship.
the championship.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Indiana, wherever, Georgetown, she can do it.
She just changed her mindset. That's what it's about.
Dorsett, any advice to kids today about patience? Because back when we grew up, it was patience.
Yeah.
Any advice to parents and kids?
Well, it's always, you know, great to wait your turn. You know, I remember waiting my turn, and I had to wait until it was my turn. And I remember Coach Nick Saban put in the paper that, hey, I'm glad Dorsett Buckels waited his turn. He had the best performance in spring practice, in fall camp, than any linebacker. And, you know, that made me feel good because I know I worked. He right. So, matter of fact, I still have that in my phone, and I tell that to my players as well. You know what I mean? Like I tell them, hey, look, I didn't start until my junior year in high school. You know, so
Yeah.
patience, just be patient, trust the process, and it all will come together.
Don't get caught up in everything
Don't
on
get
social
caught up in
media.
everything.
Just let it go. Grow up, fill out,
That's it.
and play when you're ready. 'Cause if you're not ready, you're gonna look like you're not ready.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you as well.
Hammond High School, Dorsett Buckels, LSU graduate, Amy High School grad. Appreciate Dorsett joining us today. I know Hammond, all the graduates over the years enjoy watching the show. See everybody on Friday.
That's it.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee King.